Good morning.
Good morning. I'm here with Jay Hooks, who is a superstar salesman plus an owner, co-owner with me. So Jay and I own Moorefield Real Estate, and he's here today. Sterling couldn't be with us, but I'm so glad to have Jay. We got to know each other and came together because of Ken Moorefield, and
A couple of weeks ago when Sterling had myself and Adam on when you couldn't be here, she asked us to share the story about Ken, and it was, to Adam and myself, it's really a touching story, and that's where I met Trevor. So I think Ken opened the company in late 2008 and hired Trevor, and just 4 months later I joined them, and I think there was only 3 or 4 of us at the time. And
that's right.
We've been fortunate enough and blessed enough that the 3 of us grew the company to what it is now, and Trevor and I are the owners and the management team currently, and we're very happy and very pleased, very blessed. So we thank the Lord all the time.
Yes, we do, and we've got 17 great agents, and we're doing super. The market is still strong, and I think a lot of our success is because we're local owned. It's so important to know the market that you work in, especially with real estate. So local owned is special.
But you and I have joked about it, and there's a lot of things that we say in our office to each other, and because we say it, sometimes we think that the buying public and the selling public already realize this. But we market real estate nationally, but real estate is sold locally. So we can reach out and have your home marketed all across this United States, and we've got so many people that are moving to our market, Trevor, that have never been here before. And I joked a couple of times last week with some of my clients that are elderly clients, and they're looking to maybe move, and our median age in Rocky Mount has got to have gone up in the last 15 years since we started this, because there's so many retirees coming to our town.
Yes, and from DC, New Jersey, New York, they all see the values here and they are coming. So let's see, what we really want to hear from you all too. So if you have questions that you want answered, you can call the office and we'll get to you. You can call this morning. The number is 407-1111. If you have any topics you want us to talk about, I know we got a lot of the same questions a lot, and so Jay and I thought we might talk about a few of those. Some people really wonder what the difference and what's the advantage of having a slab home construction versus a crawl space. What do you?
Ken Moorefield, we're talking about him again, but this is Moorefield Real Estate. Ken was a builder here for 40 years, as well as the top agent in town for many, 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 many years. And I asked Ken one time, what was the difference when I first got started? And he said that if I had it to do all over again, and the lot that I was going to build my house on, I would choose a slab. And I said, really? He said, well, it's not been done around here historically that much. He said, but if and that's what's important, the lot has to be suitable to take a slab foundation. And we have soft, loamy soil here in the eastern part of North Carolina, and some areas don't want to take that slab as well as others. But he said this is so much. We're having a lot of retired people that want the low step in. They don't want stairs. They don't want the 2-story house like all 5 of my bedrooms upstairs, so I'm still running up and down the stairs all the time.
Yeah, no steps, very easy to get in, and it's more energy efficient, and there's very little chance you have squeaks in the floors.
Tony is building, her husband, the builder, is building both types of houses, but he's selling a lot of the raised slabs.
And you'll see a lot of new construction all over the country. It's slab. Now, crawl space is more of a curb appeal sometimes. And if you want to make changes down the road, it's a little easier to access if you want to change things. So,
one of the questions that I've always been asked is, what if you have a plumbing leak in the slab?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, how would it leak? It won't freeze because it's coming out of the ground into the heated concrete slab that the house is in. So the chances of it leaking are almost zero.
True.
If you have a leak, it's going to be in the general same places, that it would leak on a crawl space home. The piping, once it comes out of the ground into the home cavity. So.
True. And another big conversation or people ask me about is what's the difference between a gas pack and electric heat pump, or what's the advantage of choosing one over the other?
Have you ever been on an appointment and you asked that question, because we're required to ask that question? What types of units do you have? And they say, well, I don't know. It happens, and it's more prevalent than you think. Gas packs and heat pumps. And how do you tell when you go out and talk and get that question, Trevor?
Well, I really had to be educated. Tony had to really help me out because we've got to know so many things about so many different areas of a house. So how to recognize the gas pack?
Well, you have to know a little bit about the history of why this area has so many gas pack units set up for the downstairs. They really were introduced in the late 90s, early 2000s when natural gas was 50 cents a gallon. And now with the gas and oil and the prices up, people are used to the gas packs here. I get that question from people moving south all the time. What is a gas pack? And a gas pack is a unit that is a combination unit. It uses electricity and not Freon, but the R34 refrigerant now to cool the house. And then when it gets cold and you turn on the heat, there's a gas line that comes to the unit, and it burns into burners, and then it's moved through the house to heat through the heat exchanger. So a gas pack generally will have a silver metal housing from the unit going into the house. And then a heat pump would be a standalone compressor style that you don't see anything going into the house except for one line or two lines. That's the easiest way to tell it if you're a novice and you're going out and looking at it.
Jay's so knowledgeable in this. It's always great to.
I don't know about that.
My points were maybe that the gas is not affected by the outside climate too, and it blows warmer air in the winter, and it's less expensive, I think, than electricity.
Yeah, the whole idea behind the gas pack originally was that when it came into being, the gas pack, when you put it on 70 degrees, the gas pack would come on and it would generate temperatures with the flames that were 130, 140 degrees, and then that hot air would be pumped through the house and recirculated, warming up the house faster, and in theory, it doesn't run as long. The gas was less expensive. The older heat pump models were not that efficient. They would run 70-degree air until you got to 70 degrees. Now the new high efficiency heat pumps are pretty close to, most of the new constructions are putting in heat pumps now because they're so efficient. They've made great strides.
Well, and Tony would always tell me they're more durable and less annual maintenance, the heat pump. So, and another little topic, tankless water heaters versus a tank water heater.
What do you prefer?
Well, we have always had a regular tank water heater.
Me too.
And a lot of Tony's clients will ask the custom build. They'll ask, we want a tankless. We want, constant hot water, and they're great. But they do need, yearly maintenance. You've really got to get those checked and They're also, you know, they save your space inside. You don't have this big tank
That's right.
inside.
You don't have it sitting there.
Yep.
You know,
They're usually outside and.
Trevor mentioned maintenance on the hot water heater or the water heater on demand. And let's talk about your maintenance like on HVAC units. You know, and the HVAC, not too unlike these hot water on demand, require maintenance. And most clients, including myself, we call the HVAC company when it doesn't work. I mean, you know, the life of the unit is however you service it. And since I've gotten into real estate business, I do try to have my unit serviced every year. And I've been in my home for 17 and a half years, and I think that is the life of the unit. And the hot water on demand same, there's not a lot of servicing done to a hot water tank, you know, that's put in there. You might have an element that burns out. Yeah, it usually has two elements, one at the top, one at the bottom, but it's pretty much, once you turn it on until you don't have hot water, there's not anything that I know to do to that.
Yeah, and we've got some time left, so how about we talk a little bit about, I know a lot of folks have been coming to Jay and I asking about, you see the signs on the road, you know, we buy houses for cash. You're getting a lot of ads about, you know, no
Text to your
hassle.
phone.
Yeah, no hassle sales. And, you know, what is that all about? So,
You know, and if anybody has any questions, you can call Trevor or I at Moorefield Real Estate. And the thing about it is if you call me or if you call Trevor, it's going to be us that calls you back. It's not going to be somebody else in the firm that calls you back because we're too busy to take your call. We might be the owners of Moorefield Real Estate, but we're producing agents. And if you call us and talk to us, we're going to be the ones that show up and take your call or return your call. Now, I'm always getting text, and I'm sure Trevor is too, because she has more than one property. They have rentals. I don't have any rentals in this area, but I do have, you know, more than one property. And I get text, even though I'm a real estate agent that markets myself and advertises, we would like to buy your home for cash. Would you entertain an offer? And they already have your address. You know, they know which one it is, and generally I just text them back and say, no, not interested. But that is and there's several different ways, Trevor. You know, many states have just passed laws recently, to stop these frequent text, calls, emails, to prevent wholesalers from buying a home or tying it up. And that truly is what they're doing. They're tying it up with a non-sanctioned, it's a legal contract, but it's not anything sanctioned by the Real Estate Commission or the Bar Association in North Carolina. The wholesalers want to offer you a price, give you $100 to tie up your home, take it off the market, and then what they do is they may list it on the MLS with some of these discount brokerages that only supply MLS listings, and it will say on the agent's remarks that only us agents can see that the seller is not the owner of record. What they're trying to do is make a deal with you, the homeowner, to give you a lower price and then put it on the market and sell it for more before they ever have to pay you for the property. So
yeah, if it sounds too good to be true, it is.
yeah, so don't fall for those gimmicks. There's other things out there like that too, Trevor.
There are, yeah, and on TV right now. And I saw a billboard, we're going to Florida. They're all out there. We'll buy your house, no hassle. You know, text this number or, you know, go to this website and get your home evaluated. Well, they're gonna sell it for way less than it's really.
Let me go
marketed
ahead
for.
and say, right here on the air live, that these advertisements are saying that selling a home is stressful. Well, it is somewhat stressful if you've been there for a long time and you don't really know what the process is. And I have a lot of clients that I tell them that I am going to hold their hand all the way to the finish line. And it seems to make them feel a little more assured. You know, in this day and age, the experience that Trevor and I have, you know, it matters, because we've seen a lot of things and we can help you get the sale across the finish line. When you hear someone say, get your cash offer from me, I guarantee you I'll pay for your home. Just call here or go to my website. If you want to sell your home for 60 or 70% of what it's worth, I will buy your home too. Trevor will also. We've got other agents in our office that will make the same deal with you, but that's not in your best interest to do that. I mean, it's
Right.
I mean, it's a hook. You know, hey, call this number, dial in, and yeah, not anything to do with J-hooks. It's a hook, and I hate to say, but it's almost a bait and switch tactic. When you go there and you sign up, and I've had two of my clients that I recently sold their homes tell me, I went there and not even that company contacted me.
right.
Another agent from another company came and said they would be willing to pay this low price for my house, or they would sign up and list the house for me. And those folks were very disappointed. They thought that it was going to be a good offer, which it wasn't, and they called me right after that.
Well, and it goes back to local, you know, trust your local folks, not people that are outside our area trying to, you know, sell your home for way less than it.
Like we said, real estate is sold locally, and we're local.
We're local. Well, we've enjoyed today. I always enjoy hanging with Jay, and we're going to head out and run our sales meeting, but we're always ready for your topics. If you want to let us know what you'd like to hear about real estate, we'll be glad to take it to one of our next shows. So
we're available to you. So, and it's really us. We're real people.
Really us.
See?
Well, thank y'all.
Have a good day.
Have a great day.